So what do you guys think of Moonlight so far? Is it your favorite MCU show? I've seen a lot of people on social media saying that it is by far, and I think for me it will be too, but right now I still place WandaVision a tinge higher on my scale. I just love the finale to that, even though a lot of people didn't. It was just great seeing those characters interact in such an emotionally compelling way, and I really do believe that WandaVision will be enhanced by Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness here in a couple weeks. But regardless of all that, we have another fantastic episode of Moon Knight to break down. Very ironic because Moon Knight the superhero doesn't even appear in it himself. And so yeah, there's a lot to discuss and we're going to dive right in. Spoilers to come. So it starts off showing where Khonshu is imprisoned among some of the other gods, showing that they're restricted to this stone figure, which we eventually see for Ammit later in the episode when Stephen yanks it out of Alexander the Great's throat. Super gross. Layla has this badass scene in the desert, obviously, and I'm really glad that they're giving her character so many awesome scenes like this, and obviously we see yet another one later in the episode. And then the start of this weird interaction between Layla, Marc, and Stephen ensues, in which Stephen reveals the deal he made with Marc, where he would disappear once Khonshu is gone, and even though Khonshu is gone, they're not done with Harrow and Ammit yet. And Layla obviously is not happy about this because she still cares about Marc and doesn't want him to just disappear forever. Stephen also reveals that Marc has been distancing himself from Layla to protect her from Khonshu, and it does actually seem that Marc is surprisingly content and almost like proud or happy and approving of Stephen for doing this later in the episode when he says it was unexpected. Like those were his words, unexpected. And he contrasts it with the kiss that Stephen and Layla have by saying like, oh, you did this even though you kissed her, which I thought was a little weird that they kissed, but it does directly relate to what I discussed in my last breakdown where I pondered the question if each identity can have their own relationships, or is that just too weird? I don't think that's actually possible. I've thought about it a little bit more, but what I think is more so reasonable is that the person that, I don't know, like, so Layla has to come to love all of his personalities. I think that's pretty much the only way. And so Layla's going to have to love Stephen and Marc and hopefully probably Jake Lockley here too. I think I also predicted this romance between Stephen and Layla after their first scenes in episode 2, like when they were kind of bonding over all that Egyptian knowledge and the poetry. Now, still kind of unsure who or what this blue monster is, but it's likely just some sort of physical spirit that's awakened during the excavation and search for Ammit's tomb and tries to protect what's inside by killing anyone who tries to enter. And I'm happy for this because, you know, he was going after some of Harrow's men. So maybe we'll see, like, during Layla's escape from the tomb here, we'll see maybe like the blue monster people, I don't know, guys, like help them out. I don't know. It's possible, right? And another great fight scene with Layla, Indiana Jones style, like just seeing like the, you know, having your scale alongside the like pit there and watching the rocks crumble, like that's textbook Indiana Jones. Arthur then encounters her and further makes her question Marc's connection to her dad's death, causing Marc to eventually tell her that he was there when he died, and actually he was supposed to die that day as well, but I'm pretty sure that's when Khonshu resurrected him and he became Moon Knight. And this was also the part where the two quote-unquote police officers, I think it's like Billy and Bobby, they referenced this in the car when they were taking him to see Arthur Harrow in like their little London neighborhood where it's all, you know, idealistic and whatnot. Now, I love the scene here as Marc swings the axe around, killing a few of Harrow's men before going down himself, and then Arthur shoots him once for Marc and once for Stephen, which is just great imagery. And now, does this imply that Jake Lockley, who Arthur doesn't know about and really no one knows about, will he have a part in saving them since Harrow doesn't know about them? I don't know. It's probably not because, I mean, you shoot the body, like it's the same body, like so he's down for the count right now. Either way, doesn't matter that he didn't shoot him a third time, but it's kind of a good visual, I guess. Now, this insane asylum type place is all in his head as he's kind of in a space in between life and death right now. He's envisioning all of this as bits and pieces of reality, including his recent memories, are intertwined, including the goldfish, the cupcakes from that truck chase scene, Khonshu's drawing, and even some of the people he's encountered lately. For example, the bodyguard of Anton Mogert's there as an employee. His boss, Donna, is holding a beetle symbolizing the scarab beetle that led Harrow to Ammit's tomb. And then, of course, Harrow's main two henchmen, I think, again, Billy and Bobby, are also there. And again, that's just a sign that for sure this isn't happening in real life, because we just saw the blue man monster guy kill one of them, right? The inclusion of the Moonlight action figure was sick as well. I love that. It made it super trippy. And this is similar to a comic book run as well, where he loses touch with reality and needs time to figure it out from the inside. And same case with this movie he's watching. It's not a real movie. It's meant to be a figment of his imagination with Dr. Stephen Grant. The sedation finally wears off Marc, and he frees Stephen from a tomb, referencing the title of the episode, The Tomb, and the idea that they're being reborn when they're in this quote-unquote hospital in the next episode. We see a second tomb that likely has Jake Lockley entrapped inside of it, but because they only know of the two of themselves, they don't go and free that one, assuming it's someone else. Man, Marvel is just teasing us with all these Jake Lockley references every single episode. Then they find Tawaret, pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, the Egyptian hippo goddess, who I think we see a statue of in Harrow's, I just combined Arthur and Harrow, oh my god, that's hilarious. Harrow's office just a minute earlier, along with some other statues. So again, super trippy here, and then it's just super weird when you hear the unlikely voice that she possesses. In mythology, Tawaret is capable of rejuvenation. She can bring back the deceased or cleanse and purify them so that they can make their way to the afterlife. Her regenerative abilities make her a goddess that was often prayed to for the conception and healing. So yeah, I found some good information online about her. Basically what this is saying is that she can bring you back to life, or she can prepare you for the afterlife. And that would not mean bringing you back to life, but either way, just kind of preparing you for a new form of life. Either you're coming back to the material world, or you're entering the afterlife, of course, which, in Egyptian culture, they have a great perception of. That's very important in their culture. And that's also kind of why they mummified their leaders, to prepare them for the afterlife. And I also love the scene where Marc and Stephen hugged, hinting at the future of them working more and more together in unison. I really like that. That was a very wholesome moment. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys on this episode. It was kind of weird not seeing Moonlight, a very non-action oriented episode, except for the Layla scenes, which were awesome. And so yeah, I'm excited for the final two episodes. Literally every time I finish with one of these episodes, I just kind of look to see if there's a post-credit scene, and there hasn't been yet. But I feel like there has to be one either next episode and definitely after the final episode. But I just keep thinking back to WandaVision when the final 3 episodes all had post-credit scenes. And I think Loki, the final 3 had post-credit scenes as well, or at least the final 2. And so I always am looking for that. But we haven't gotten one yet, unfortunately, but I am sure we will soon. I cannot wait to see Bruce Banner. I mean, apparently he's going to be in the show, right? That was a confirmed leak, I thought. So hopefully we see him soon as well, but I wouldn't expect it until the final episode. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Bye now.